Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Stilwell Lady Indian Soccer. We're at James Bradley Limore Athletic Park in Stilwell, Oklahoma for tonight's district game against the Tulsa Central Lady Braves. The Lady Indians come into this game 3-2. Their last game was on the road. They lost to the Poto Lady Pirates 2-1. They have an overall record of 3-2 on the season, and let's run down that schedule. This is only the second home game the Indians have played. Lady Indians. They defeated Grove on the first game of the season 3-1. Lost Fort Gibson 2-1. Defeated Westfield 2-1. Defeated Coweta 2-1. Westfield and Coweta were on the road. And on Tuesday, April 12th, they lost on the road at Poto. They have a record of 3-2. They'll be looking tonight to tie the school record for most wins in the season. That came last year when the Lady Indians went in 6. Let's have a look at the roster, since they'll be going down seeing a lot of action. Just go ahead and give the entire roster. Number 1 is Taryn Calico. Number 2, Melody Lawrence. Number 3, Natalie Limore. Number 4, Crispiniano. Number 5, Johnna Diver. Number 6, Stephanie Carson, freshman. Number 7 is Sam Ogden. Number 8, Marissa Bigfeather. Number 9 is Felicia Flute. Number 10 is Doyle. Number 11, senior Jamie Johnna. Number 12, Teresa Muskrat. Number 13, Andy Morgan. Number 14 is Kim Doyle, another freshman. Number 15 is Katie Gilstrap. Number 16 is Dara Fountain. Number 18 is Brittany Van. 19 is Brooke Butler. Number 20 is Lisa Livers. And number 22 is Nina Boland. We don't have a roster, at least I don't have a roster, for Tulsa Central. But seeing as there is only one person sitting in the stands across the way from me, I take it that that's not really important to them. Most of my listeners will be listening to this from Lady Indians' point of view and rooting for them. I'll still try to will still be impartial. Well, who am I kidding? I'm for the Indians. I'm from Stilwell. I'm not going to be happy if Tulsa Central wins, but I'm going to broadcast in a nice impartial way, if I can. The head coach of the Lady Indians is Joe Means, who has been named the new wrestling coach for the Indians, replacing Tim Turner, who retired after 21 years as head coach of the wrestlers. Joe Means will step in and take his place. He is the head coach for the girls this season. There has been no head coach named as of yet for next season, so we'll see what happens there in that situation. Means is doing a good job. He's assisted by David Douthit, who is the boys' head coach. We'll talk about those boys later on. See, Coach Means gathered the girls around. The Lady Indians are huddled around here on the south sidelines. If you've never been to James Bradley Memorial Athletic, this field runs east and west. The scoreboard at the west end of the stadium. I'm at the home press boxes here on the south side, and I am gazing off. It's a beautiful field. Looks in great condition. Very many bare spots, considering we've just come out of winter. It looks great, and see across the field from me, it stands still except for one lone Lady Brave, and then the trailer park there, and the bales of hay. A beautiful field of hay. We're about ready to get started. This is StilwellSports.com. You're listening to the Stilwell Indian Soccer on the Stilwell Sports Broadcasting Network. Well, let's put this one underway. I'll give the starting lineups in a moment, as I was able to get those. Katie Gilstrap starting in goal for the Indians tonight. On the attack, the Lady Indians, that's number 13, Andy Moore, makes a shot towards the goal, and the goalie kicks it away. It goes out of play. Here are the starting lineups. The starting 11, Melody Lawrence, Patty Crispiniano, Johnna Diver, Sam Ogden, Felicia Flute, Jennifer Doyle, Jamie Johnson, Teresa Muskrat, Andy Morgan, and Lisa Livers, with Katie Gilstrap in goal. Central going to take a goal kick. Walking it over, positioning it into the box. in the goal area. She's on the north side of the goal area. Kicks it upfield, deflected by Andy Morgan. Has the ball knocked away from her, and it goes out of bounds. 38 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock. No score. We're in the first half. Inbounded. Jamie Johnson can't get to it. Central has control. Their goalie takes it, picks it up, brings it out towards the end of the goal crease, kicks it downfield, and that's going to be fielded by Felicia Flute. Flute kicks it over to Lisa Livers, and Livers sends it out of bounds. So that one sends the Tulsa Central fan, and he's still the only one over there. He is sent to work, and he has to go retrieve the ball. Indians, the Lady Indians with their white jerseys, red numerals, and black pants, white socks with red piping. Throw in, deflected away by Crispiniano. Jamie Johnson with a steal. Central now in control. On the attack, Stilwell takes over. That's number 10, Jennifer Doyle. Jennifer Doyle on the attack. Moving upfield. She gets past. She's got a shot on goal coming, and it is a goal. Goal for Jennifer Doyle. The striker comes up with the first goal at the 37-35 mark. She just went on the attack. She got a breakaway and put it in there. It's 1-0, Lady Indians at 37-31. So a good way to start this broadcast, the inaugural soccer broadcast for StilwellSports.com. Hope you've enjoyed the baseball. We'll be having all sports pretty soon. Next year. We'll have softball next week, baseball later on this week, more soccer next week. Central kicks it off from center field. It's deflected away by Teresa Muskrat. And Central fighting, Muskrat and Central fighting for the ball. Muskrat forwards it downfield, kicked away now by Central into the Indians' side of the field, Stilwell's side. Felicia Flute fights away a Central defender, and it goes out of bounds on Central. And possession goes to the Indians. A throw-in, and it is thrown in towards number 13. That's Andy Morgan. Morgan and Johnson are over there on the left side, and it goes out of play. The attacking line, Morgan, Johnson on the left side. Number 10 is Jennifer Doyle. Number 2 is Melody Lawrence. This throw-in by Crispiniano goes into Johnson. Now it's to a shot on goal and saved. It was Johnna Diver making the save is the Central goalie who kicks it out. Not very well, though, and it goes right back to the Lady Indians and Teresa Muskrat. Muskrat now over to Crispiniano. Crispiniano gets past the defender, she's in the goal crease. Shot and deflected away by the Central goalie. That was a little bit to the side, but I believe if she hadn't knocked it down, it would have went in. And another kick by the goalie of Central. Number 5, Johnna Diver. On the attack, into the goal crease, goes Morgan. Morgan centers it, and it hits the head of Lady Brave. And there's a shot and a score by Andy Morgan. I believe it's number 13. Let me make sure of that. That's Andy Morgan, number 13, and it's at the 35-45 mark. It's 2-0 Lady Indians. What happened there was Morgan was trying to center it to, I believe, Jamie Johnson, and it hit the face of the Tulsa Central Lady Brave, deflected right back to Morgan, and she was able to get the ball back and kick it right at the goalie, who wasn't expecting that. It just went into the, if you're attacking, it goes into the right-hand side of the net. Central with the ball in Stilwell territory. Kicked out, defended now. This is Jennifer Doyle, the sophomore striker. She's on a run. She's got a breakaway. She's headed towards goal. Centers out, header by Johnson. Just out of the reach of Morgan. She now gains control of the ball. Headed toward the middle. Missed it. And a kick, and Number 10, Jennifer Doyle, just can't quite get there as it was deflected away by a Stilwell defender. That was almost goal number 3. Central trailing 2-0. Lady Indians out in front. Joe Means looks happy, and they're going to change goalies already. It appears she's taken off her top. And yes, she is. She's the Central goalie has taken off her top and has put on number 6, and they've got a new goalie in there already. So it did knock their goalie out of the box. Swell leading 2-0 with 34-49 to play in this first half. Goal by goal by Morgan, number 13. And the goal by, and let's see, you've got the whistle, and Central has control of the ball now, moving it up the field. Stilwell now has it back. Central now takes it back. And kicked away and out of bounds. The Lady Indians will have it. Morgan sends it in, headed by Johnson to Johnna Diver, and she takes a shot, and it's handled easily by the goalie. A light shot. Goalie kicks this one, still can't make it, and it does bounce past midfield at least. And Central has not got past, if you were in football, this would be about the 35-yard line. They haven't gotten past them yet. Lady Indians, Lisa Livers on the left side of the field, trying to get it into the goal area. Gets it to number 13, Andy Moore, sent over. Melody Long trying to get to it. Gets around, dribbles around the Central defender. Over to number 12, now number 10, Jennifer Doyle has it. Doyle works it in, takes it herself. She's headed towards the goal. Kicks and hits the side of the goal. And it will be out, and Central's ball. So, 33-14 remaining on the clock. The Lady Indians leading 2-0. Central taking another goalie, kicking it away. She's taking the time. She's going to kick it from the left side of the goal crease. Sends it towards the Central sideline. It's taken by Crispiniano. Then it goes out of bounds, and Central will control the ball. Number 6, Bristol, who was the goalie, had the ball again. She's had the ball most of the time for Central. She throws it in back towards Doyle to number 3 for Central. Can make a play, but Johnson gets a leg up there and deflects it away, and now the Lady Indians have something going. Here's Jennifer Doyle over to Jennifer Doyle, keeping it, and over the net. Melody Lawrence was on the wing. Doyle decided to keep it herself. Doyle, quite a good soccer player for the Lady Indians. Began last year as a freshman on the varsity squad. We have 7 freshmen on the team this year. Another kick by the goalie. This was 2 and number 3. Morgan trying to get the ball. It's kicked away, but deflected to Crispiniano. Shot on goal, and that's going to go in. That's going to go in. A goal for Patty Crispiniano at the 31-39 mark, and it's 3-0 Lady Indians. And Coach Means and Coach Douthit look like they're very pleased, and it looks like the Lady Indians are on their way to record tying for win in the season. We moved to 4-2. Still a lot of game action left yet, but seeing as how the Lady Indians have now allowed more than 2 goals in the game, things looking good, and they have been in total control of this one. Still on the attack. Diver gets it over now to Jennifer Doyle. Doyle on the right side of the wing. She's going to center it, and it's going to get into Johnna Diver. Diver takes it back out. Crispiniano. The shot is deflected. Jamie Jo has it in control, but it's kicked away by Central. But now Number 12, Teresa Muskrat has it. There's a high arcing shot, and it's blocked away. Andy Morgan trying to get to it before the goalie, and she cannot get to it. And the goalie is out of the crease. And if somebody can get to it, now it goes out of bounds to the pass. The goalie was all the way out of the crease and all the way out of bounds on the north side. And there goes that Tulsa Central fan, still the only one over there. And he has to retrieve the ball. Maybe even their boys coach. The goalie for Central came all the way out of the box. That was a very dangerous move for her. If Andy Morgan could have gotten control of that ball and got it into just anybody, the Indians would have scored again. Here's Jamie Johnson on the run. Into Diver. It's blocked away. Central. Melody Lawrence now controlling the ball. Gets it to Doyle. Doyle with a kick. Oh, nice kick save by the goalie. Now, Johnna Diver saving it, keeping it from going out of bounds, keeping it in play as the Indians are on the attack. This one to the left side where Morgan has it they're in the goal crease, they're in the goal area, and it is kicked out of bounds by a girl named Brianna. I know that because I heard the Central coach say that. So number 6's name is Brianna. Well, the goal area, if you look up the terms, the goal area is a rectangular area 20 yards wide by 6 yards deep in front of each goal. And that is where most of this game has taken place. That goal by Crispiniano came from about 30-35 yards out. 3-0, Lady Indian lead, but I believe 21 left, 20-15 now. There is I have to look later and see if there's an extra bulb working or one not working. Lady Indian's shot, Melody Lawrence just cannot make it. She was wide open, the goalie had left the piece, but I think that's one of those cases where it's much you can't make the play. And it deflected off of her foot and sideways. Well, of course it's going to deflect off of her foot. We're playing soccer, for crying out loud. But it went sideways instead of straight in. So a near goal there for the Lady Indians. And another kick by the Central goalie. This time it's going to be taken by Melody Lawrence. Lawrence gets it over to Jennifer Doyle. Doyle on the attack. She could shoot it at any time. She does, and it's high and sails over the goal and over towards the visitors' concession stand on the east side of the field toward the visitors' concession stand. 27:42 left in this first period. Katie Gilstrap in goal has done a good job, I guess you could say. She hasn't had any attempts come near her, not even close. The Indians, I'm having trouble saying Lady Indians, and just to make it shorter, since this is the girls' game, I'm just going to say the Indians, Stilwell Lady Indians. So excuse me for if I just say Indians, make it shorter and easier. Throw in goes to Diver, and a header into goal, and Bully takes it. And now there is nobody in the central stand, so that must have been a Central Lady Brave. Central Brave, Crispiniano with the ball. As this has been 90% of it, more the east end, the Stilwell end of the field. 26:34 left in this first period. Central now has it kicked away. This Muskrat. Muskrat fours it up ahead toward Andy Morgan. Morgan centers it to Johnson. Johnson with a header. It's got stopped by the goalie, and now there's going to be a kick. It was dropped, but it almost rolled in, but she got control of it. The kick, just as it has been happening all through this game, goes right to the Indians. Lisa Livers and Sam Ogden. This is Jennifer Doyle on a breakaway towards the right side. She centers it, and it's the goalie instead steps in. She had G. Johnson, the senior, out there. But the goalie stepped in front. Rather lackadaisical effort by Central so far. Sam Ogden chases that one down. And Sam Ogden, Felicia, Flute, and Lisa Livers haven't had their name called much as everything's been going on this east side, on the attacking side of the field. Number 5, Johnna Diver, Melody Lawrence now. Over to Jennifer Doyle. Doyle headed toward the goal. Doyle with a shot and just saved by the goalie as she again saved it, and it rolled toward the goal, and she made another save. No 2 saves on that one, but it almost was, really. She almost let it go back through. Central trying to get something going again, and the Lady Indians are not. They're just relentless, and they're attacking up to Jamie Johnson. There's a foul called. And it looks like we're going to get see if they form a wall here, or if it's just a penalty. We're going to get things going. I don't know enough about soccer to tell exactly what everything is. I need to get my rule book out. I went to my website, the website here in the soccer section where it has the definition of terms, and I was going to print those out. And I've been listening to soccer since the Tulsa Roughnecks and the NASL Championship. I'm a big fan of soccer, but I don't know what things are called technically. But I can give you an idea of what's going on. But I went to run that off, found it was 40 pages long of terms in soccer. So I decided against that. Here's Jennifer Doyle with a shot across. This one is forwarded to number 13 Muskrat, number 13 Morgan, and this one is a goal by number 4, Patty Crispiniano, with goal number 4. Johnson over to Andy Morgan, who centered it to Crispiniano for the goal. As I missed seeing that, broadcasting it live, really. 23-30 for Crispiniano with the goal. And the Lady Indians with a 4-0 lead. If this one gets the 10, the game is over. 4-0. What are we doing, says the Central coach, as he's not liking what he's seeing. Let's see, this is center field would be 50, and I'm looking at the markers down here, what would be the 40, and would say I'm correct in saying that Central has not passed what would be the 35-yard line. Jamie Johnson has the ball on the spot at midfield, kicks it away. This one goes right to Andy Morgan. Morgan with a shot on goal. It's deflected by the goalie. Morgan racing in, and number 6 for Central kicks it away. Number 6, number 3, and number 9 there on the defense for Central. They did not do a very good job at all. And Morgan almost got that one in. There's a attempted header, but it winds up more on Jimmy Johnson's back, and still has to make a good save, does the goalie. Indians, I hesitate to say this over the internet, but they look a lot better coached, a lot better prepared for this game. I don't hesitate to say that on the Stilwell side, but if anybody's listening from another school, I hate to say that, but they certainly look better. Here's a attempt on goal by Andy Morgan. She can't quite get it, but it hits the top of the goal, and it is kicked away. Jennifer Doyle had a chance, and it got knocked away, hitting the edge of the goal. So Lawrence has hit the top of the goal. Doyle hit the right side, the right side if you're attacking. Left side if you're the goalie. I believe we're going to have it's a corner kick for Central. Jennifer Doyle brings it in, throws it in. Now Lawrence headed to Jenny headed to the goalie. So, nothing doing on that attack. 21-30 today in this first half. Stilwell Lady Indians in good control of this game. 4-0. Crispiniano has scored a pair of goals. Finally, Central get past 35-yard line, but only one attacker down there as opposed to 4 for the Lady Indians, who get it back. And now, play on, says the referee, as Andy Morgan is bumped by 2 Central Lady Braves. The ball goes out of bounds, and Crispiniano will field it. She's going to throw it in to Jamie Johnson, who heads it off and now takes it herself, dribbling around, does a back kick Trying to, and she hit the umpire. Hit the referee. That one by Crispiniano to Lauren. Lauren takes a shot, and she scores! But it appears it's going to be offsides. The call is the referee blows the whistle and says, no, that's offsides. So an offsides erases a goal. Still 4-0, 20-33, but Milner got that one in there, and it was set up well, just offside, said the goalie. And according to Gary Johnson, if we were at Poto, the referees wouldn't have known the difference and would have... I'm going to get somebody in trouble here if I keep talking. Jennifer Doyle with the ball on the attack. I think, unless I say otherwise, just assume the Lady Indians are on the attack. Marissa Muskrat, and it is Chris this time, with the ball, number 12. And that one goes out of bounds, Central. Throwing it in, but throws it right to Muskrat. And Morgan tries to get to it, but Central kicks it away. Number 12, Muskrat, to Jennifer Doyle. Doyle forwards it ahead to Jamie Johnson. Johnson with a shot, and it sails wide to the right and out of play. With 19:31, and call it 19:30 now, left on the clock as this clock keeps going, I'm going to take a slight break and take a drink from my bottle of pop. So I'll say this broadcast is brought to you by Diet Coke. Okay, I've had my swig of pop. Indians on the attack now, and there's a shot, and over the goal. Johnna diver. Melody Lawrence centered it to her. Lawrence drew the goalie out of the crease or the goal area and over to Diver, but Diver shot it high. So Lawrence has had an assist taken away from her there on the missed shot and a goal taken away from her on a offsides call. Lady Indians in control of this. Katie Gilstrap is down there, 18-15 left to play. She has been on her knees, and the Indians once again on the attack. Morgan centers it and scores over the head of the goalie. That one came from the left side, and Andy Morgan has scored her second goal of the game. Crispiniano has 2 as well. And the Lady Indians lead 5-0 with 18:03 left to play in the first half. So things looking very, very good for the Lady Indians. Oh, I was mentioning Katie Gilstrap has been able to sit down there on her knees the whole game. She's got a lot of rest out there. Central getting the ball away from the Indians in there. Now Meryl Lee Lawrence has it. She turns toward the goal. She's going to take a shot, but it goes wide, right? And the goalie for Central is going to get another kick. Interesting to listen to this tape, see how many saves that goalie has. The Indians have scored 5 and actually let another one in there, but it was called offsides on the non-goal by Lawrence. But every shot on goal, no attempts on goal by Central. I mean, not even close. And Lady Indians dominating this game. Crispiniano to Andy Morgan on the left side of the field. The north side, that one goes out of bounds on Central. Referee says it's the Lady Indians' ball. Tried to get it in to Jamie Johnson for a header, but it was headed out by Central. This is Trissa Muskrat over to Crispiniano. Crispiniano, the senior, one of 3 seniors, along with Johnson and Lawrence, gets it to Morgan, centers it to Johnson. Johnna Diver now takes a shot, and it's going to do a one-hopper to the goalie with 16:29 left on the clock, 5-0. Lady Indians out in front. This ball is fielded by number 20, Lisa Livers, and kicked out of bounds toward the Lady Indians bench. And that was about the most excitement on the Central side of the field. 35 yards away is as close as Central has come to scoring. Actually, farther than that, since it's set back about 5 yards, so about 40 yards away. Central finally on the attack. Sam Ogden clears this one out. It goes out of bounds on her. Now they're saying out of bounds on Central. And we've got a lot of changes in here as Nina Boland, Brittany Van, Stephanie Carson all come into the game. If there's anybody else, I'll get it. I thought there was one more. Lady Indians have the ball, waiting for a throw-in. That is Dare Fountain has come into the game. Dare Fountain now hands the ball off to Muskrat, who will handle the throw-in. Indians getting there off the set. Down there, the deal now. Johnna on the run. And is she going to get this up? Here comes the Central defender. Here's a shot on goal. And it's deflected out. And Jennifer Doyle now has it. Shot on goal. And deflected. And Jimmy Johnson takes it and in for a goal for the Lady Indians. It's 6-0 as that was deflected a couple of times. And the goalie finally deflected off the goalie by a couple of Lady Indians. And Jamie Johnson was there to put it in. And it is 6-0, 14:44 to play, and the Lady Indians are dominating this game, 6-0, 10-0, and the game will be over. And it's 6-0 with 14:44 to play in the first half. Central very slowly walks it up the field. Now taken by Andy Morgan. Morgan heads it up the field. Central now in control. Now it's taken over by Diver. Diver, oh, that one hit a knee pad. You could hear them collide. And that one goes out of bounds. Where Taryn Calico and Marissa Bigfeather are standing. Thrown in towards the Central goal. Jennifer Doyle dueling with a Central Lady Brave over there, and it goes out of bounds. 6-0, Lady Indians, 14:04 play in the game. Kick in, deflected by Central, and the kick by Fountain sails out of bounds. So Dara Fountain, the freshman, in there seeing playing time now. And it looks like defensively we've got Livers, Nina Boland, and I can't see who the other player is here. Right here at midfield. She's on the far side. Central goalie moves this one in. Andy Morgan has it. She's going to get into the goal crease. A shot and a save by the goalie. And I would give anything to say saved by Gilstraps, just so I'd have something exciting for her to listen to on this broadcast. But it's a great job by the Stilwell defense keeping Gilstrap from having to do anything. Indians working the ball once again. They're down there. There's a shot on goal by number 22, Nina Boland, and that one sails wide right. Nina Boland is a two-sport athlete in the ring. She's also a member of the Lady Indian softball team, and we'll be seeing them next week. We'll be hearing them next week. Here comes Taryn Calico. Marissa Bigfeather in with 12:26 left to play. Jennifer Doyle checks out. And so does Andy Morgan. Central gets the ball in. Number 8, Marissa Bigfeather with the ball. Oh, and a collision by Diver and a Lady Brave. Diver keeps the ball. Diver getting it over to Fountain. Fountain, that one is deflected by Tulsa Central, and there's going to be a penalty called, as I think it's going to be on Central, as it looks like a tripping is what I would assume the call would be. And it is going to be a penalty. Fountain will take a shot. take a kick, heads it toward the middle, right towards the goalie. And it goes wide. She handles it easily. Kicking it away now. And I know I'm not being really technical for all you big soccer fans out there. Not to say I'm not a soccer fan. I love soccer. But, I mean, there's people out here listening to this broadcast saying, well, that idiot doesn't even know what he's talking about. But I'm trying to do my best. These teams need the exposure. And this is a good way for them to get it. Here's Dara Fountain. Forwards it ahead to Johnna Diver. Diver back out to Fountain, but Fountain had broken in. So they little lack of communication there, but that's fine. We still lead 6-0. Fountain tries to get it over to Diver. That one is kicked away by Central. Central over to Diver now. Steals it. And she is going to take a shot, and it is going to be deflected and kicked away. Cleared out of there by Central as... Is that Jamie Johnson? Yes, it is. Number 11 was there to put the deflection in. We've got number 18, Brittany Van, in the game. That was who the other defender was. Johnson with a shot, but it sails high. So, over the goal it goes. 6-0 Lady Indians as we're kicking down to the 10-minute mark. Katie Gilstrap looks lonesome out there in goalie. But I don't think Coach Means or anybody minds that they haven't had a shot on goal. I tell you, they have just dominated this game. It just has been no contest. I mean, the entire game has been played on this east side, and now the Indians on the attack. Jamie Johnson offsides. That was Teresa Muskrat got it to Jamie Johnson. But offside, said the referee, before Johnson could even get a shot off. So I look down at the sidelines now. I can see Crispiniano, Sam Ogden, Brooke Butler, Natalie Limore, Melody Lawrence, Andy Morgan, Jennifer Doyle, and Kim Noel, number 14, and number 9, Felicia Flute. Central with the ball. Stilwell takes it away now. There's Johnna Diver. Diver getting around to the right side now, breaking in towards goal, takes a shot, and it's going to deflect off the top of the goal, but the referee said it was touched by one of the Lady Indians, I believe. So, Central will have it as Diver comes over and talks to Means. This time the Central goalie is going to go to the left side of the goal crease, the right side of the field if the Indians are on the attack. And it is kicked right to Diver. So I guess Means told Diver where to go because it was kicked right to her. Forward and stopped by Central. Dara Fountain trying to get something going. It's deflected away. Fountain again has control of the ball to Marissa Bigfeather. Bigfeather working it up, and kicked away, stolen, and kicked out of bounds, and not stopping the clock, but stopping the rally for Stilwell. But like I was mentioning earlier, when they had a shot on goal, the Lady Indians had I'm talking about the shot on goal now. There's a shot. Jamie Johnson cannot make the goal as it is saved by Central. There are technical terms for all these, I know. Even the stripes on the field, the midfield circle, the goal crease, the different signals by the referees. I'm not all that familiar with it, but we're getting something on for these Lady Indians and for the Indians later on. And the Indians are going to go, if they win tonight, it will set the record for most wins in the season. This game will tie the record for most wins in the season for the Lady Indians. Central finally has something going on their onside of the field, and now they get it in, and Gilstrap actually has to get up and move, and now it's cleared out by Lisa Livers. Livers has it kicked out of bounds by Central. Throw in by Brittany Van. Fought over Taryn Calico, and a Central Lady Brave fight over it, and Calico says, the referee says it went out on Calico. So, throw in, on a running throw in to Central, and it goes out on Stilwell again. Stephanie Carson, throw in by Central, fielded now by Nina Boland, number 22. Central actually taking a shot on goal, towards goal, not a shot on goal actually. It was towards goal, and there's an attack, but it's waived a penalty call. They had an attack, but Dara Fountain and Lisa Livers were down there. Offsides was called. And the Lady Indians, with 5:20 left to play, get the ball back. Nina Boland kicks it forward up the field. Jamie Johnson tries to get to it, but can't, as it goes to Central, and it goes out of bounds, says the referee, waving towards the Central side, and Tulsa Central will have control of the ball. 14:51, 6-0. Lady Indians lead it. Central referee gives the ball down to the Central player as she kicks it forward towards the Indian goal. And Katie Gilstrap is finally going to get her hands on the ball, as that one is about 15 yards wide of the goal. But Gilstrap kicks it towards center, and she's got a lot better leg, I'll tell you that, than any of these Central goalies, as she gets that one down to about the 30-yard line of the Central side of the field. And in fact, Stephanie Carson was there along with Jamie Johnson to try to get something going against only one defender. Ball, let me look in the corner there. It's always hard to see in the corner here. And that is Marissa Bigfeather going to throw it inbounds from the side, from the corner. Johnna diver, and it goes out of bounds again. And this one is said to go to Central, says the referee. Central, as we've got the Lady Indians with 3:34, 33, 32, 31 left to play in this first half, are in control of this one, 10-0. Central now kicks it in, but it's taken away by Marissa Bigfeather. Bigfeather taken away by Central. Forwarded to Stephanie Carson, and Carson and a Lady Brave fight for it, doing battle, and it is kicked out of bounds by the Lady Indians. As we have a substitution, Johnna Diver going out, and freshman Kim Doyle coming in. The referee says it go, and there's another substitution as Brooke Butler comes in for Jamie Johnson. And I believe Natalie Limore is the only Lady Indian who hasn't seen action. Well, let's see if she's out there. No, not yet. And the Lady Indians with the ball near the Central goal, and it goes out of bounds. It is 6-0 with 2:23 and counting down. 2:13 left in this game. Isn't it supposed to count up in soccer? Anyway, ball battle for, pushing back and forth goes Stephanie Carson and the Central Lady Brave, who also wears number 6. Doing a lot of shoving there. And that one goes out of bounds. Central will get a kick. The goalie has possession of the ball with 1:44 left in this first period. In no hurry. See a few more people in the Central stands, but those all have on Central uniforms. So there's still no spectators in the central stands. Ball is kicked by the central goalie, and the Lady Indians have control of it. This is Brittany Van forwarding it to Dara Fountain, who tries to get it to Brooke Butler. It skips past her and central, and now Butler gets it back. Butler centers it to Calico. Calico to number 8, Marissa Bigfeather, and offsides, says the referee. So I finally got something going that sounded like I knew what I was talking about, and they called offsides on it. Central goalie kicks it away, and it is taken by Taryn Calico. Brooke Butler on the left side centers it towards the goalie and was trying to get it, I believe, to Kim Doyle, but it went right toward the goalie, and the goalie came out of the net and fielded that one. Now Fountain deflects a kick into, and it's going to go out of bounds. It was kicked in, intended for Stephanie Carson, who, if she had fielded it, would have been able to, and that ends the first period, would have been able to make an attempt on goal, but not this time as it sailed wide. We've reached the end of the first half with the score: the Stilwell Lady Indians 6 and the Tulsa Central Lady Braves 0. This is the Stilwell Indian Sports and Lady Indian Sports Broadcasting Network. We're ready to begin things. In the second half. Lady Indians on top, 6-0 over Tulsa Central. Here's how they start in the second half. Taryn Calico, Natalie Limore, Marissa Bigfeather, Kim Doyle, Dara Fountain, Brittany Van, Brooke Butler, Lisa Livers, Nina Bolin, and Katie Gilstrap. Now in goal for the Indians is Stephanie Carson, the freshman. So Gilstrap pitched a shutout. Didn't even have a save. Didn't even have to attempt one. The Lady Indians goals were scored by Andy Morgan. She scored 2. Patty Crispiniano scored 2. Jamie Johnson scored a goal. And Jennifer Doyle scored a goal. Well, there's 39:02 left on the clock. The Indians now on the attack. On the attack is Kim Doyle. Doyle takes it, centers it, 19. Brooke Butler just sails it to the right. That was a certain goal if she hits it correctly, but I'll tell you, I've played soccer, and it is tough to kick that rolling ball in the direction you want it to. That's what makes soccer more challenging than it appears when you watch it on TV. That ball's rolling when you kick it usually, and it's not easy. It's not an easy sport at all. Natalie Limore with the ball works it upfield, works it toward Butler. Butler on the left side as the Indians moving from east to west. Butler centers it in. That one is. The goalie covers it up as Doyle and Bigfeather and Limore all had kicks at it, but the goalie finally covered it up, and she centers it. This is Dara Fountain. Dara Fountain into Kim Doyle. Doyle now. She can get to it. No. The central goalie makes the stop as the goalie actually shows some little bit of energy out there. Central still not able to get anything going offensively. Lady Indians still on the attack. It is controlled now by Katie Gilstrap. Gilstrap kicks it over to Limore and Brooke Butler and has it taken away and kicked out of bounds. Lady Indians Brittany Van throws it in. Limore has that one again kicked out of bounds, and Limore will work it in, throw it in, and I believe the ball has gone over the fence as Limore there's Coach Means retrieved it. Limore now out of bounds, throwing it in to number 8, Marissa Bigfeather. And there's a trip there, and let's see if they do call it. Tripping called. Brooke Butler was on the receiving end of that foul. She gets up. She's okay. Lady Indians 6-0 with 36:24 to play. They will move to 4-2 on the season, as this is Taryn Calico with a penalty kick. Calico approaches, kicks, hits off the wall. Natalie Limore tries to get something going, but can't, as she had 3-on-1 there, and just still couldn't get things going, as she was outnumbered 3-1, but still was able to actually threaten, even though she was outnumbered. Now a long kick, and just wide by Nina Boland. Looks like with our Stilwell's football kicker for the past 3 years, Nate Adams, graduating, and Boland and some of these soccer girls able to kick, do like Poto. Poto has had a female punter the last 3 years. This soccer program helps the football program in finding people that can kick the football. Different shape, but Nate Adams, who is a goalie for the boys and has done an outstanding job, he was the kicker this year for the Indians. This one, another shot, well, actually it wasn't a shot. Let me describe what happened. The throw-in, and the throw-in actually almost got past the goalie. So that one wouldn't even be a shot, it would be a throw-on goal. Natalie Limore, Brittany, Nina Boland, Brittany Van to Nina Boland. Central clears it, chased by Kim Doyle. Gilstrap now has it over to Dara Fountain on the right side, stolen away by Central. And now number 20, Lisa Livers, has it. And that one goes out of bounds as she tried to advance it forward. Still nobody in the stands for Central. No fans. I'll get up here in a minute and look down and glance at the Stilwell crowd. We're looking for, and as the ball crosses midfield, the Indians, Lady Indians on the attack. Nina Boland to number 18, Brittany Van. Forwards it now to 19, Brooke Butler into the foot race, if she can get there. And the Tulsa Central girl gets there first and kicks it out of bounds. I was talking to Coach Douthit this afternoon. We're getting a big push, and by the time, if you listen to this next week, you'll see it already on the website. Next week is a big week as the Indians back on the attack, and it's out of bounds and taken control of by the Central goalie. Next week, perhaps the biggest week in the history of Stilwell Indian and Lady Indian soccer. The boys come into this game undefeated and are hoping to head into the, undefeated in district play. They have lost to Van Buren. They haven't lost to anybody in Oklahoma. They will be playing Tulsa Edison, who is ranked number 7 next week, if they win that game. As here's a drive toward the goal by Kim Doyle, and it is kicked out of bounds. If the Indians can win that game next week against Tulsa Edison, that will pretty much lock up a playoff spot and set up a big showdown for the district championship against number 1 ranked Catoosa. And those 2 games are here at Bradley Park. So we're looking for a big push to get fans to come out and support the Indians and Lady Indians next week. Here's the Indians in the goal crease. Doyle had a shot at it. It was deflected away as Central playing better defense, much better defense in this half than in the first half. On the attack now. And now it's kicked over the Central Lady Braves head. No, and now it's stolen away and forwarded, but there's nobody there. Just all white shirts. Central is in all red. Lady Indians in red and black. The red and black attack. 22, Nina Boland sends that one toward the goal, but it's not really a serious threat. 31:47 to play in this second half. 6-0, the Lady Indians out on front. If those boys can win next week, win tonight, win next week against Edison, it sets up a district championship battle against number 1 Catoosa, and the district champion gets a bye in the first round of the playoffs, and that's only 2 games away from the state championship, so that is a huge game next week. Everybody, if you're listening to this, there's a shot towards the goal and deflected away. Let's all come out and support both teams, the Lady Indians and the Indians, next week. Lady Indians not out of the playoff picture by any means. They will move to 4-2. Corner kick. Couldn't see the number. It's Taryn Calico now, taken by somebody on the ground, 19, Brooke Butler, and I believe she got a hand on it. Let's see who's fighting down there. It was Brooke Butler, and it was Marissa Bigfeather that was on the ground. And while Bigfeather was on the ground, she was kicking at that ball, and the goalie kept deflecting it back. So Bigfeather was still fighting while she's on the ground. Shows a lot of competition, a lot of competitive spirit. And trying to pass. They have not been past midfield in this second half, and they will not make its time. The ball is deflected away by number 20, Lisa Litters, I believe, into the stand. And one of it's 20, Lisa Litters, the freshman, midfielder. We go down the lineup. Seniors, Melody Lawrence, Jimmy Johnson, and Patty Crispiniano. Juniors are Natalie Limore, Sam Ogden, Marissa Bigfeather, Felicia Flute, and Katie Gilstrap. Sophomores, Taryn Calico, Joe Diver, Jennifer Doyle, Teresa Muskrat, Andy Morgan, and Nina Boland. And the freshmen for the Lady Indians are Carson, who is a goal in the half, Kim Doyle, Dare Fountain, Brittany Van, Brooke Butler, and Lisa Livers. Lady Indians only attack once again. This Kim Doyle works towards number 19, Butler, and it deflects off her leg and goes wide of the goal. That wasn't a shot. It just kicked from Doyle to Butler's leg and goes wide. Natalie Limore with the ball. Now working the field, Katie Gilstrap. Gilstrap works it over to Butler. Butler fighting away, a central defender, and central kicks it out of bounds. And it looks number 3, Natalie Limore, going to throw this in. They've got Butler, and she throws it to Calico. And now it goes out of bounds. Also on the tapping in are Marissa Bigfeather, number 15, Katie Gilstrap, and Dara Fountain. Here comes Jennifer Doyle and Johnna Diver back into the game, along with Andy Morgan and Jamie Johnson. Coming out is 16, 8, 19, and 1. So that's Calico, Butler, Fountain, and Bigfeather. So 4 of the starters back in the game. Jamie Johnson throws this one in, tries to get it to Morgan. It's deflected away. Katie Gilstrap centers it to Johnna Diver. Diver twirls, kicks over to number 10, Jennifer Doyle, and that one sails wide. Just missed the right top corner of the post. Just a few inches to the left, and it would have went in. 27-28 to play in the ball game. Stilwell leading 6-0. Boy, it's a beautiful evening. It's like a fall football weather. One of those nice fall football before it gets too cold where you have to wear a jacket. Beautiful, beautiful spring day. Sun is shining beautifully. This is a beautiful pitch that these Lady Indians are playing on today. Natalie Limore gets it over to Jennifer Doyle, gets it to Andy Morgan. Now Natalie Limore in control, fighting now with a Central Brave. Gets it back over to Andy Morgan. Morgan centers it to Jamie Johnson. It hits the top of the goal, and let's see who Johnna Diver is going to try. And it is deflected away by a Central Brave. Diver has it back. She's headed back toward the goal. There's a shot, and it's deflected away. And this is Jennifer Doyle, and it sails over, and she falls down in frustration. It sailed. That would have been a very good play, an excellent play if she had made that one. No need to fall over. And in frustration on that one. It was an extremely harsh angle. It would have been a spectacular play for her to get it in there. But the Indians really making that goalie work on that one. She gets the ball, the goalie walks it back over, 26, 25, 59, 57, 56. Clock winding down, 25-51 to play in the ball game. Lady Indians ahead 6-0, all 6 points, 6 goals coming in the first half. This one is kicked by the goalie out of bounds. And it's taken in by Natalie Limore. Limore gets it to Morgan. Morgan falls but gets it to Jamie Johnson. Johnson battling with 2 Central Braves. Johnson sends a kick towards the goal and it hits the football cross post, the goal there, and out of bounds. 25-10 left to play in this football game for our international listeners. The Central goalie makes the kick, fielded by Jamie Johnson. The Indians once again on the attack. Johnson sends the ball clunking down toward the Central goal, and it's taken by their goalkeeper, who seems to not care any much about the game anymore, and she just nonchalantly kicks it in toward Jennifer Doyle, but it was kicked out of bounds by Central. Johnna Diver has the ball. She's going to throw it into Jamie Johnson. Johnson gets it back to Diver. Diver has it stolen and kicked away and out of bounds, and the Lady Indians will set up again with Diver throwing the ball in to Johnson once again. Gets it again to Diver. Now over to Johnson. Johnson takes a shot on goal, and it's saved. So 24:05 shot on goal by Johnson. But it's a save, and Lady Indians continue to lead 6-0. Central tries to get the ball into their own territory, out of bounds, says the referee. Brittany Van was there to take care of it. Van, Boland, and Livers on the defensive end of the field for the Lady Indians, with Stephanie Carson in goal. This one is taken by the red-headed Jennifer Doyle. Doyle on the breakaway. She's got the speed, and she's going to have a shot. She is going to take it and score! Goal for Jennifer Doyle. And it is 7-0. That's her second goal of the game. And that was my tribute to whatever the guy's name is that does those Mexican soccer matches. And I'm not going to do that again because I think it's annoying when he does that. But a goal for the Lady Indians, and that one was set up beautifully. Jennifer Doyle, I'll tell you what, she has speed, and she just outraced the Central defense, which has to be tired anyway, but she's got the speed to outrace a lot of these teams' defenders, even when they're not tired. And she just went in there, had Johnson if she needed her on the center, but she took it in herself, and that's her second goal of the night. And I've got to change that on my score sheet where I put it was Kim earlier. Jennifer has scored 2, so we've got Crispiniano, Doyle, and Andy Morgan have scored 2 for the Lady Indians. Taken by Andy Morgan. Morgan centers it, and there's a header, and into the goal for Jamie Johnson. That was centered by Morgan to Jennifer Doyle, and we're going to have to find out later who gets credit for the goal. I believe it was Jamie Johnson, and give the assist to Jennifer Doyle. So we've got Johnson with 2 goals, and now it is 8-0. Scoreboard still says 6-0, 21-23. I don't think that goal by Doyle I don't think that goal was waved off. I believe it's a goal. I believe it's 8-0. It's definitely 7-0 because the referee, I saw the clear touchdown light signal that they make for a goal. It should be 8-0 by my count. Lady Indians need a bowl and sends it down to Morgan. Morgan on the left side controls, trying to get it in, centers it now, centering pass to Jamie Johnson. Oh, and it just goes wide to the right. And out of bounds. 20:38 left to play in this second half. Lady Indians 8. Lady Braves of Central 0. And boy, the bench is cleared for Central, and I don't mean they're bringing in substitutes. There's nobody over on the bench. I guess everybody else, maybe they sent the starters home. Well, no, the bus is still here. Have no idea why there's nobody on the bench. Johnson has it for the Lady Indians, and it's deflected out of bounds by number 2 for Tulsa Central. Johnson throwing it in, throws it into Diver, and it gets away, skips past Diver, but Central fields it, kicks it out, and it is controlled by Katie Gilstrap. Gilstrap to Johnson. Johnson kicks it toward goal, and right there was Kim Doyle, as both Doyles are on the field now. That one was Kim Doyle, and had the goalie not on that goal, was right in position, put that in. Well, we've got 4 Lady Indians with 2 goals each, looking for the hat trick. Here's Jennifer Doyle on the breakaway and a shot in the door. And there is the hat trick for the Lady Indians. It is 9-0 Lady Indians, the hat trick for Jennifer Doyle. Number 10, Jennifer Doyle with the goal at 19:10 at 19:10 of this game, let's call it. 19:10, 9-0 by my count. The scoreboard still hasn't been corrected. I'm saying it's 9-0. It could be 8-0 if they waved off Jennifer Doyle's earlier goal, but I believe it's 9-0. At any rate, the Lady Indians are going to win this one easily. Here's Johnna Diver. This one could end right now. Johnna Diver on the attack. She sends it. She's got the ball deflected. She's going to take a shot on goal, and it is knocked down by the Central goalie with 18:27 to play. They had a 3-on-1 breakaway. Diver decided to take it by herself, take it on her own, and it went out. Lady Indians, again, with the ball. Natalie Limore sails out of bounds. Central will take over. 18:06 to play. Let me mark down that goal for Jennifer Doyle, number 3 on the night. Hat trick. Although I don't see anybody throwing their hats out on the field. Here's number 13. That's Morgan. Centers it to Johnson. Deflects off of her leg. She stops it with her knee. Johnson forwards it now. Kicks it toward goal. And it gets past the goalie, but it hits the post. Close to becoming a goal on that play. 17:30 left. Lady Indians leading 9-0 by my count. Scoreboard says 6-0. 17:20. We know definitely Central hasn't scored. There's Gilstrap in the first half, and now Carson in the second half haven't even made any saves. There's a header on a corner kick by Jennifer Doyle. A header by Johnson goes out of bounds. It's 17 minutes exactly now left to play in this ball game, unless we have a shootout and an overtime period. But I don't think that's going to happen unless these Lady Indians just fall completely to pieces. With this win, as it's 9-0 now, the Lady Indians will improve to 4-2. Their best record ever was 4-6 in 2004. So this will be Means took over in 2003. Joe Means, they were 3-7. They were 4-6 in 2004, and now they stand at 4-2. Kim Doyle to Johnna Diver. Diver taking a shot, and nice save by the goalie. 16:14 to play. Goalie jogs it out toward the circle, kicks it upfield. Six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the first time I've noticed that. Central has 6 players. 6 players and 1 goalie. So, that explains a lot. And they're out here trying anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players and 1 goalie. As opposed to 10 and a goalie for the Indians, Lady Indians. It's probably been like that all night, and I'm too much of an egghead to have noticed it. This one goes out of bounds. There's Johnna Diver fighting for the ball. Johnna Diver has it. Now over to Jennifer Doyle. Katie Gilstrap now. Marissa Bigfeather. I'm sorry. Natalie Limore. Apologize, Natalie. It's Natalie Limore. Getting my 3s and my 8s mixed up. This one is over to Andy Morgan. Morgan breaking away on the left side toward goal. Here's a shot, and it is going to be taken by, knocked away by number 14, Kim Doyle. As Doyle and Johnson got their signals crossed, and both of them went for the ball, and Kim Doyle has it go to left of goal. 14:23 now left to play. It's 9-0. Lady Indians front as Sam Ogden comes in. She's going to release Andy Morgan, it looks like. Central 14:05 on the clock. Shadow of the scoreboard beginning to creep over Bradley Park, but otherwise the sun is still out and it's still a beautiful day. Johnna Diver to Katie Gilstrap, now to Natalie Limore, to Sam Ogden. Central trying to get away from Ogden, but they can't as Ogden gets it ahead to Natalie Limore. Limore, the ball, charges in and kicked away from the goalie for Central. That was a save by one of their players as they kicked it away. Jamie Johnson throws it in quickly to Diver. Diver breaking in. She's got a chance. There's a shot, and it just goes wide. With 13:08 left to play, the ball is out of play. Clock keeps ticking. Stilwell Lady Indians lead it 9-0. You are listening to Stilwell Lady Indians Soccer. This is our first soccer broadcast of the season. I've done 2 baseball broadcasts. The Indians have scored in every inning that I broadcast, and on this one, this first soccer game, the Lady Indians have scored 9 goals. I don't think it has anything to do with me. I'm not that much of a good luck charm. As Melody Lawrence and Petty Crispiniano come back in. Goalie kicks it out of the shadows. And that one is out of bounds as Jennifer Doyle tried to get it. Kicked it out of bounds. Had to battle to Tulsa Central Lady Braves over there. They have some girls on the bench they had before, I believe. They've just given up the ship. Johnna Diver forwards it ahead to Sam Ogden. Ogden with a shot. Here's the shot, and just wide. And she pounds her fists into the grass in frustration as it just goes wide. They left 11:44, 9-0 Lady Indians. By my count, the scoreboard still reads 6-0. But it is 9-0 Lady Indians. Jennifer Doyle has 3 goals. Patty Crispiniano 2. Andy Morgan 2. And Jamie Johnson with 2. That adds up to 9. Not 6. They scored 6 in the first half. 3 in the second. Here is Melody Lawrence to Sam Ogden. And Penny Crispiniano has it now. She gets it over to Sam Ogden, who is forced to kick it out of bounds as a Tulsa Central Lady Brave approaches and tries to get the ball away from her. Well, we've got Brittany Van, I see out there, Nina Bolin. Number 20 is Lisa Livers, Katie Gilstrap, Patty Crispiniano, Sam Ogden, Jamie Johnson, Mel Lawrence, Johnna Diver, and Jennifer Doyle. And in goalie, Stephanie Carson, who's sitting just like Katie Gilstrap, pretty bored, but excited to see her teammates doing well, but pretty lonesome down there on her end. Stilwell again on the attack. Sam Ogden trying to work it in. She gets it into Melody Lawrence. Lawrence, if she can get it in, up, and off the very top of the crossbar, and it comes out instead of going in. Oh my, that was close to a goal for Melody Lawrence. We would have had all the seniors scoring here tonight. Actually, Lawrence scored earlier, and it was waved off on an offside penalty. What a close call that was. Here's Johnna Diver on an attack. It's taken by Jamie Johnson. Stolen away now by Central. Johnson battles for it and gets it to Jennifer Doyle. Jennifer Doyle, number 10, gets it into Melody Lawrence. Lawrence kicks into a Central player, and it is batted away. Number 15, Katie Gilstrap with the ball. Now, Mel Lawrence. Deep over to Sam Ogden. 19 left to play. Ogden on the left side centers it 12, but it passed her. She tried to deflect the ball down with her foot. Couldn't get to it. That is Crispiniano with a shot, and it's going to be high, and the goalie has to stretch, but he does get enough of it to keep out. As I said, it was high. I've been watching TV, but not high, not too high to get into the goal. Indians will take a corner kick. It will be Crispiniano with the corner kick, and gets it towards Natalie as it's out of bounds again as toward the field house. And here's a shot, and Doyle flex it, and over the goal as Jamie Johnson and Johnna Diver can't quite get to it. Excuse me. Let's see the boys team. Here's a shot on goal. Shot towards the goal, on the corner kick, and sails out of bounds. The boys are warming up over on the east side of the field by the field house. And Johnna Diver gets it to Melody Lawrence, over to Sam Ogden. Ogden centers it to Johnson. Johnson tries to kick it while she's on the ground on the deflection from the goalie. She did a bicycle kick, a spin-type kick, but couldn't get to it as the goalie grabbed it before she could get connection with the ball. This one's cleared out by Bolin, and the Indians again have control of the ball. That's number 5, Johnna Diver, fighting down the field now. So to say court for Doyle on the side. Shot. Jamie Johnson with a shot and a goal. Jamie Johnson. Jennifer Doyle had kicked it and deflected it away, and that is let me explain what happened. Jennifer Doyle kicked it, the goalie deflected it away, it bounced into the legs of Johnson, who scored the goal, and that's a winner. That's a winner for the Lady Indians. As my throat, they do tie the school record for most wins in a season. Shut out by Katie Gilstrap and Stephanie Carson. And as I take a break, brought to you by my bottle of Diet Coke to get this croup out of my throat, this scratch out of my throat, I'll come back and give you the complete scoring in just a minute. For the Lady Indians, who win this game 10-0 over the Tulsa Central Lady Braves, the goals were scored, and since I was having to constantly talk and do the broadcast, I didn't write down the order but I did write down the goals. The hat trick, 3 goals by Jamie Johnson and 3 goals by Jennifer Doyle. I do remember that Doyle scored the first goal of the game. Jamie Johnson scored that last one here on the west side. Patty Crispiniano had 2, and Andy Morgan had 2. For the Indians in the first half, 6 goals for the Lady Indians, Doyle, Morgan, Crispiniano, and Johnson. So, let me figure that up. That means Doyle had 2 in the second half. Johnson had 2. Oh, and that's the 4. Okay. So, 6 in the first half, 4 in the second half for the Lady Indians. The goalies were Katie Gilstrap in the first half, and she did not have to even make a save. There were no shots on goal. And Stephanie Carson in the second half, and she didn't even get her hands on the ball. At least Tulsa Central was able to penetrate down towards the net, and Gilstrap fielded a ball that was about 10 yards to the left of the net on the left side. Stephanie Carson never even saw the ball get past midfield, as the Lady Indians just dominated this contest. Well, as the boys warm up, I'll put that on another tape. Congratulations to the Lady Indians as they tie a school record with 4 wins in the season. They increased their record to 4-2. That's a Lady Indian winner. The final score, the Stilwell Lady Indians 10, the Tulsa Central Lady Braves 0. This is Greg Stilwell saying for the Lady Indians game, so long.